it's being red hot here.
Yeah, today it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be like 26. Then
26.
then we'll get some rain again. Yeah, so that's perfect. It's not too hot. I can live with that.
When we get like over 20, we panic as a nation.
Yeah, normally, yeah. So we had yesterday 21, 22, and today 26. So I think this is our summer now. And then it turns again.
Yeah. We've been getting summer a lot earlier than actual summer.
Hmm.
That's what's been happening here in the UK the last few years. I'm hoping we get nice all the way through. Okay, let's get this chart moving. Oh, where's my clock gone? It takes me 2 days to. I'm thinking about streaming, but getting rid of all of the border and that. On I don't know if you've seen on YouTube, because things just disappear. And you spend 10 minutes fucking setting it up in the morning. And just going back to literally charts. Oh, yes, I knew it. Right, we're on. Have a look. What's going on? Okay, guys, welcome to the stream. If you've just turned up, or you're watching the recording. Okay, I want to do a top-down straight on gold because we put some trade IDs on yesterday. I didn't check my chart last night, and I've noticed with the daily close, so we'll do a full top-down on gold, and then we can see what the crack is going on. So this is the trade we took yesterday. It's wing back sell here, so currently in sell is now in drawdown. But with the way the dailies close back into the range, it's not an issue because looking at it is we are bearish. We know the weekly can flip to the downside, and we know that you're probably going to close into them zones. So I'm expecting this daily still popping up. We've got no bottom wick on the daily. The only little issue I've got, I still think this can flip to the downside at any point. The only issue I've got is how high is this daily going to come now that the daily's closed there. I was hoping the daily would stay below, which it didn't. But now that's closed back up, I'm thinking this daily could potentially push a bit higher. Let me have a look at the monthly. So monthly is exactly the same. Monthly is exactly the same, but no bottom wick. Doji candle. Weekly close back into the range. So what I'm expecting is this weekly to come up and then flip to the downside to fill the rest of the range. So we had a fake out back into the area, back below this. We broke a high, we broke this high, so we've got liquidity. However, it's not, is it? Because that was a fake out. That was a fake out. So I am expecting this weekly now top wick, but how high is the top wick going to be? That's previous support there, and then a flip to the downside to come and fill the rest of the range. So with the way the daily's closed, we can still play out, but we might need to adjust stops. And I hate adjusting stops because I know people have got certain risk on it. I hate it. But I'm thinking, so we could still reject from here, even if we want to drive up. A good sign that we've got no bottom wick. Even if we want to drive up, we could get something like this, where we pull back to the next. I have still got this wing back sell on the second entry. I don't know if I put that on the trade IDs. I need to see. So I have got this wing back sell on a 3344. Even if we drive up, we should still pull back. You've got another rejection there. The only thing I don't like is you can drive straight through that area, back up. So what I'm going to do, wingback sell's still on. I'm going to adjust my stops to above 3373. If I get stopped there, I'm not interested. I've got another zone though at that point. Then you could introduce a third if you wanted to. Depend on your risk. Yeah, I like that. So now this is me going worst case, and we've got to go worst case. However, this daily can flip to the downside at any point, really. At any point, we could just be getting something like this. So if we look at this closed below that minor support, then we close bullish, which we tapped where we're at now, and then we rejected and came all the way back down for another tap to the downside. So we could still flip now to the downside. It's in the area of where price could flip or start pushing back down. So I've still got the swing back sell on though. If we do pop up, I will be taking it. But yeah, last night, if I'd seen it last night, what I probably would have done is deleted this daily and kept this second one on. But that's trading sometimes. That's trading. We'll just manage it as we go along. So let's have a look at the smaller time frames. See if we can start rejecting now, because we are in an area where we could start rejecting. So we've got 6 hour no bottom wick, which is nice, and we're still respecting this minor level. So we're still respecting this area, which when the 6 hours respect, get rid of this. Another 6 hour there, another 6 hour there. So yeah, we could reject from here. The 6 hour has close respecting. The only downside to it is you can get these big pumps. If we get this, obviously we're not interested at that point. So the 6 hour still flip. The 4, what's the 4 done? The 4's got no top wick and no bottom wick, and that's on a few of the candles. No top wick, no bottom wick, no top wick, no bottom wick, no bottom wick there.
Okay.
So that's a good sign. Are we still respecting this area? We closed above. Ooh. The 4s look really nice. No top wick. Got no top wick on this 4. Could this 4 flip? This 4 itself could potentially flip. There's an hour and 50 left on it. So yeah, it's still looking okay. I didn't really like the daily, but if you think about the daily, so for example, if we go to the weekly, right? If we're expecting a pullback on this weekly to then flip to the downside, right? this pullback, we're probably going to get bullish daily closes, aren't we? And that's what we've had. We've had the daily bullish close now, and we've closed back into the area. So I'm hoping this is just enticing loads of buyers in because you've had the daily close back in. But I do still think the weekly could potentially flip. However, how high is this weekly candle going to go? That's my only concern. That's why I've adjusted my stops above that. If I push past that, I'm not interested. But that's in quite a prominent area where you can reject from. So that's why I've adjusted my stops above there. If you want to keep stops where they are, by all means, completely up to yourself. So the 4 looks really nice. We're very, very bullish though. We have got momentum pushing up, which is not nice. We need to see some structure getting formed. See if we can push back down. Let's have a look at the 1 hours. So yeah, I will be taking this second entry. This is the only one that catches up. If the hourly closes above like this, we'll get out the second entry on a pullback. But other than that, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get the second entry on the trade ideas. That's what's going on, guys. And we knew price could actually come up here at the beginning because we had a second entry on up here. Unless the weekly is going to completely focus off and fake out back to the upside. Okay, so we've got a wingback sell 3344, 3344. Stop loss is the same, 33. No, it's not. 3373. TP1 for this one would be the entry of the first trade at 332, 0.11, 20. TP2 is the same. Three, 3373 by 20. Lovely jubbly. Okay, that's what I've got, guys. That's what I've got. Okay, so that's what we got in gold. Let's see what happens. See if we can get tapped in. The thing about these second entries, so if the daily had closed below this level, fantastic, we would have had a nest play. And that means these would still be on. I'd be happy with them. Because the daily's closed back in, we technically had a fake out to the upside, which just makes the trades less probable, okay? But still, it can still play out, but less probable. Plus, the then reach on the new daily can go further, and that's why I've adjusted my stops, because the reach of the new daily now, it's like, remember Stretch Armstrong, the toe we used to have? His arms, there's his head, there's his body, there's an arm. He's side on, by the way. There's his legs. Yeah, this is his arm. Okay. So, the closer the middle of his body is, the further these arms can stretch. But if you think about it, if we had targets around here, then you might think, well, his arms can't stretch that far, can it? Or if it does, it's going to then retract at some point. And that's what it's like. Because the daily's closed back in, it means you're closer to our targets. So that means this daily can actually stretch further, push further. Whereas if this daily was closed here, like that, that means the daily can stretch exactly the same, but it's perfect for our entries to reject. That makes sense. I don't know if I've explained that. I don't know if that helps you whatsoever, right? But that's the way I look at it. Because the daily's closed closer to our entries, I probably would have deleted this first one, potentially kept the second one on, but I definitely would have adjusted stops to 3378. So I would have probably deleted that, but unfortunately I was asleep, and that's what happens in trading sometimes. So we've just got to adjust accordingly. And the good thing about these second entries is what you can do. If you think about it, if you think, okay, I don't like the look of the daily, we just need to get out of this trade. Okay, so I've come onto the chart with a bit of a negative mindset, think, oh, I don't like that trade, but I'm in it. So we don't panic. What we do is we go, okay, where's my other entry? There's my other entry. You've got another potential entry here as well. And you probably think, well, I don't want to put any more entries on because I don't like the look of the daily. And now I probably wouldn't put these on anyway. If you're wondering what that is on my nose, it's not cocaine, right? It's pseudocreme. I just realised I've still got it on the camera. Right? So, basically, if we take the second position, we only need a pullback to 50% if we decide we want to get out of the trade. Whereas if you don't put on that second position, you can't really get out of this trade. If it pulls back to 50%, then you can't really get out, especially if you don't want to lose any money, basically. So if we work out where 50% is between the entry of the first one and the entry of the second one, then when price comes up and taps, we work out the 50% mark, which I would say about there. Now that is an area where if we pull back to that, well, we only need to pull back to that in order to get out of the first trade and the second one at break even. Okay, because the little loss what you'll make on the first one will be covered by the second entry, the profit of the second one. Does that make sense? So that's something we can look at as well. Whether we want to do that. We could do that, get out of break even and then put another entry on. Or closures below. You basically just realign, recock and re-engage, babe. But yeah, I mean, I'm at the moment, this is nice. See how price is pushing up with no bottom wick, no bottom wick, no bottom wick, no bottom wick. So you've got all this space here. But you would think price needs to pop back down. The only little issue I've got is we might need to break this high now. Might need to break that high or coming back down. Can we reject from here? We do tend to reject from these levels. Reject from these levels, back down to these levels. Close. And this is not going to be a tap and pull back flyer straight away. Okay, I mean, it'd be nice if it was, but I reckon you might sort of might take a few hours to get down. Okay, so that's goal. That's what we've got on goal. Let's have a look at see if how it's changed. So look at that monthly candle, that's disgusting. Look at that. Okay, so we've got room to play with to the downside. You would imagine price needs to come back, tap previous support, which is this level. Weekly is similar again. You're looking, you're going to have to come and tap 22132. Daily hasn't closed bearish yet though. So if we can get a daily bearish close on NAS one day this week, then we could start looking at some sells back down or some wing back buys and see if we can jump on, because we broke out now. The weekly's broke out. If we can get something like pullback, tap these levels, could we look at either buy stops above or wing back buys from around these levels? But you can't put buy stops above until you've had your pullback to 22117, because you don't want to get caught in, if this is going to fake out back to the downside, you do not want to be getting caught in a buy here. And if this comes up for a steeper top wick and activates you and then take you back down, you're a big goose down here. Six hours looking good, but I'd need a daily close, guys. This is the thing. So I can't really do now on NAS until we get a daily close, but once we get that daily close, we can look at wing back buys around these levels or buy stops above to go higher. But in order to get we couldn't put the buy stops above on until we come and tap previous support. So I need to tap these levels before getting buy stops above. So we're getting close, Let's have a look at oil. What did oil do last night? Absolutely nothing. Look at that. Okay. We're struggling to push further, which is nice. We've got loads of fair value gaps because of news. The issue we've got though on the weekly, we did close below this level. So really what you would need is, if we can get a weekly close back above, I might look to get another trade in. Another entry. Because then that would tell you that, well, this drop down was just because of news. So if we can get a weekly close on Friday, back above 67.78, we might get another entry on. But you'd have to wait for that. This is the thing. Because I wouldn't recommend taking the daily. So let's say the daily closes something like this. And when we first get into trading, we're taught like price action and all that good stuff. So if you get something like this, you might have a morning star pattern there. Morning star pattern. You might be looking to get in, but then when you go to the weekly, that could just be the weekly pulling back for a steeper top wick to then flip to the downside to come down. Because technically the weekly is hovering. The weekly is still hovering between this and this. We're hovering here. We're here. So we've still got this left to go, technically. Unless this is going to be a fake out and it was just news. So yeah, I wouldn't take the daily. I think the weekly. Friday might be nice. How is XRP looking? Right here. But yeah, that's what we've got, guys. That's what we've got. We just got to wait for gold to tap the second position and drop through the floor. That's what we're after. Two. Now what we could do, if we start running out of momentum, doesn't look like we're doing that yet though. Yeah, we're all still bullish on everything. Yeah, you would probably need a 1 hour close. So this might still take a few hours to get up and get down, guys. This is the issue. So, really do. That's the only thing I've got going on. I'm still liking the look of it. The only thing is, like I said last night, I probably wouldn't be in this first position now, but I'd still have this second one on, and potentially this third one. What time was that? Because remember I saying yesterday we could have took the buys up, but I need some sort of structure to be formed. And that's exactly what's happened. There's your 1 hour breakout. You even had a nest play. So look at this. This is a good example for you. If you watch my stream back from yesterday at the start when I done a top down, we were like that. Okay. Now I said the weekly needs to have a steep top wick. Yeah, or a top wick basically. How far could it come? We identified this area. We could come to this area or this area. Okay, and then we could reject. Now, we were looking for the buys up, okay, but I said the only way we can get in for the buys up, I need some sort of structure. Here, there's no structure. We couldn't just enter, right? Because if you just enter at any point, the 4 hour can give you a bottom wick. At this point, the 4 hour didn't have a bottom wick. So I said what we need to have is some sort of structure like that, and then you could take the breakout and get in, okay? So if you watch my stream back from yesterday, that's exactly what I said I wanted to do. Obviously, I jumped off the charts, so we didn't catch it. But that's exactly what price done. Comes down. You've now got a bit of structure now, so you mark this up. Price coming back up. There's the break. Now, the only issue with this, I probably wouldn't have took that first one. Why wouldn't I took it? Because there's no top wick. So what tends to happen, especially on gold, is when you have a candle with no top wick, the next one tends to be the opposite, so bearish candle. So I probably wouldn't have took that. However, or if I was going to take it, I would wait for price to tap previous support. So if I go, this is a perfect example for you. Okay, typical Meraki trading this, right? So there's your breakout. Probably wouldn't, if it did have a wick, let's pretend it did have a wick. What would we wait for? Well, we would want previous support to be tapped first. So we would want a pullback. Previous support to be tapped, which is this area. And then we would simply have either a buy stop above. This is not a buy stop, guys, right? This is just an example. We'd have a buy stop above, ready for price to flip and push with the new candle. That's a wick. Like so. Okay, now that's one setup, simple breakout method bracket, right? Now, because we didn't have a top wick, I'm thinking, okay, well, what tends to happen now is you tend to close opposite, so we're probably going to get a bearish candle. So then if we're thinking, okay, the probabilities of getting a bearish candle is pretty high because that's what tends to happen, how bearish is the next candle going to be? Are we going to fake out to the downside, back into that zone? Therefore, at that point, we are now back in this zone. And if that happened, where should we be going? Well, technically, we should be coming down to fill the range. So you could have looked at sells at that point. Or you're going to close bearish, but still respecting this level. And then what that would be, you are then thinking, okay, well, if we're still respecting that level, what range are we in? Well, now we're still in this range. So therefore, where should we be going? Even though we've closed bearish, we're technically still in this range. Where should we be going? Well, we should be coming up to fill the rest of the range. So how do we get in on this then? So the way you would get in, because this would be now a nest play. That's what we call a nest play. New candle. opens up, normally push it down first. You can then, if it does, you can have a buy stop above, or if you didn't want to do that and price pushed up, you could just have a buy stop above, because it's a good indication that, well, we're still respecting this area. We've still got a lot of range left to go. Price should push down, flip, activate, and then you start pushing up to the upside. And this whole move here is an S play. But the point I want you to take away from this is, at the beginning of the stream, we can't just enter on trades known or thinking that we're going to fill the range. We've got to have some sort of structure. Because no doubt, people would have entered round here just thinking, okay, buys above, we're going to fill that range now. But their stops could just be, I don't know, below this low. Good area for stops. And they've been stopped out when they weren't patient. And then if we look what happened, price, there's your nest play, little bottom wick, came up, and there you go, there's the push up. I think I'm about to get activation. So yeah, that would have been perfect yesterday, but unfortunately, guys, I wasn't on the charts. So you missed. This is what I'm saying with trades. Don't worry about missing trades, because there's always others. There's always more. Like, we missed that trade. There's always other trades. Trades will always come up. Get my tunes on. Get up there. Go on. Please turn off offline mode and try again. Where the hell's offline mode? Technology. I've used this every day. And all of a sudden Spotify's like, brings up a new message which I've never seen before. Fuck is offline mode? Please turn off offline mode. Yeah, idiot. What you up to today, Andre? Just chilling. Those are Spotify Mac. In the menu bar, click the menu bar. Click File or Spotify. You're offline. Please turn off offline mode. I have. Wow. Get some tunes on shortly, guys. Come on. Hear these songs. YouTube. There we go. We're on. Oh, close to tapping then, aren't we? Yeah, so we might mess about. As you can see here, you don't just tap. You pull back, you had 2 hours of bearish, and then we come back up, another 3 hours of bearish, and then we come up and tap. So, I mean, I'll be on till at least 9, another 25 minutes, but it just is what it is. If you're watching, if you're new to the stream, welcome to the stream, guys. What I will say is we are new back on streaming. So I've traded live for members for years. And we've just opened it up to YouTube. So we're not really well known on YouTube as such. By all means, if you want to join the streams, follow us along. I'm going to be setting challenges for myself. I'm going to track everything. I'm going to have some pseudocreme on the owl nose. Yeah, welcome. We don't just trade. We talk shit as well while we're waiting. Because remember, trading is not all about trading. A lot of it is just waiting. And I'm not one of these traders who'll flick through all the charts looking for setups. Yeah, I have a couple of pairs. The pairs I trade are NAS 100, gold, oil for my swing trades, and then it's rare with the other ones. Don't really trade anything else. Oh yeah, if you've got any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll be mincing it, doing some admin while we wait for our gold to get activated on our second position. Let me have a look, see. So our stats are unreal on stream, guys, right? Absolutely unreal. Yeah, even coming back on to streaming, our stats are good. We haven't took many trades. June, I was a bit missing in action in June. We had personal issues going on. But still, our stats have been absolutely fantastic. Probably one of the best on streaming. But what I like to be called is the grey man. I like to stay low. Stay low. Low profile. Come in, do the biz, get out. I'm gonna do some. Pushing back up. No bottom waist. Are we going to drop through the floor? Let's see. I'm just a bit cautious about we might need to break the highs. It's the only issue.
to apologise for stealing all the limelight during our time together, so to speak. Couldn't have been easy for you, mate, living in the shadow like that, but you did okay after, didn't you?
Really, really quick. He was sharp, intelligent, really, like no sniper as well.
He's one of the best, there's no doubt.
He's always done so he's got a knows where he's got to go with stuff.
Someone who scored goals for fun and led the line for England for so long in
Watching Gary get inside. Gary gets captured and not get inside again, but I'm still able to watch Gary Lineker play runs what he used to do. And it's great times to get together and one person champion pitch.
Now, what a great legend, great player. And just I remember when I was down in Osborne, we had to just pay off whenever he went to the first match away. He never. Goes to Barcelona and scores a hat trick. His first El Clasico, we normally play that capability. So yeah, he was a top. The time is sadly coming. Say goodbye.
So he intimated that he wanted to represent everyone. It was a seamless jump.
Hey, to tell you what, football's back. And he got a job. When you look at who we had to come in and replace, which is brilliant. It's like, it might not have been easy at first for Gary, but he seems to have taken to it with ease.
We'll see 4 of them tonight. Much for right set Anthony Scott.
I'm not the way I want to go. I was a little bit starstruck as well.
Just show us what you're doing. Here we go again. New season, new titles, new managers, new signings. But apart from that, nothing much has really changed.
Great sprint. When all stuff is going around in our years, he is the hardest person in the room.
The Gary that you see on TV is very professional, down to earth, and all those things. Off air, he's very kind, he's very generous.
It's always a really fun time.
To his toe and his knee, he got back in time.
And we got to see him commentating. He's be excited to watch him. BSBR. Make sure he give us a wave so he can see us watching the match of the day as well.
George, your shirt is totally transparent.
And bring back.
I've always been very proud of that. Everything's done.
Right, okay, we should rehearse it one more time.
Definitely nice. Brilliant that.
Okay, we're close to activation. Are we going to reject for me though straight away? That's the thing. I'm not sure we'll reject straight away. Get up there. Stage reverse. Okay, we had a 1 hour bullish close. See how that one done. No top wick, which is good. It looks like we're still respecting. Just mark this up where this is closed. So we've closed respected with no top wick. It's not ready yet. Ooh. Ready yet? Should get activated soon. Oh, the one's flipping. That's what I'm saying. So if we look left, the one here only tapped this level, pull back. Still got 3 hours left there before coming up and tapping, before moving down. So what time are we on? I'll be on till past, guys, and then we'll probably leave it. But yeah, I'm still happy with this. I'm still good. Like I say, last night I would have deleted this, but I would have still had this one on. So it doesn't make much of a difference. This is a good practice for you if you are in this first trade. It's good practice. Because we learn far greater. We learn far greater when we are in drawdown than we do when we're in profit. Nobody likes being drawdown, but that's where the learning is. Yeah.
Read about this or hear this? That you used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night.
and visualize seeing yourself as.
Yeah, I would visualize.
This is when you were broke and poor.
Right, having directors interested in me and people
that I respected saying, you know, I like your work or whatever that is, and I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever. Drive home and think, well, I do have these things. They're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there. I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and I dated it Thanksgiving 1995. Just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million.
Choose your fighter. Lighting inspired. Fight.
Who are?
Knockout. You win.
Come on! Right, guys, I'm gonna go. I might as well. Right, guys, I'm going to jump off. So, I'm still good for this second position. Obviously, price is just moving slow. It's completely up to yourself. If you tap the second position and you pull back to this area, you could close both for full if you wanted to. I'll probably look to hold, to be honest with you, depending on what the lower time frame. We have got news later on today, though. We've got news around 2:30. So we've got plenty of time yet. We've got plenty of time. But if you do get in the second position, and we do push up and we pull down, take partial move to break even on this second one and close full on this first trade. So you're risk free at that point. Okay. So that's what I've got going on. I'm going to love yous and leave yous. Have a fantastic day. I'll be back on tomorrow. Catch you later. Toodaloo now.